Hi guys, this is a quick little video to show you how to make an A2 or AS practical assessment video, and we're just using our sports assistant Jack Pettit, and the example sport is football here. However, you might have a different sport, so just bear with me for that. The key thing to start with is you'll need to identify yourself to the examiner or to us, so please make sure that you either wear a coloured bib or do what Jack's done here, is introduce yourself to the camera. You can put your name on a piece of paper and your sport, but what also Jack has done through his video is that he's put a nice little caption on the bottom which says exactly who he is and what assessment he is doing. So we'll just run this through as we go. Okay, so what usually happens with the assessment criteria is that you will have to prove or show that you are competent in certain different elements. So the best thing to do that is to break your video up and to show these different elements. So for example, what Jack has done here is he's firstly shown his dribbling skills and had a little caption to show the examiner that this is for the skill 1 of dribbling, but it could easily be for something like sailing. You could have to show a certain knot tying technique, and it's the same for rock climbing, and you could just show that within a small clip to show that you can cover that criteria. So as we let Jack play, he will then show his dribbling ability through that video, and the examiner and we as assessors know exactly where that is. And then as his video goes on, you can see he's setting up the second skill or second criteria, so he's showing us his ability to do that as well. All of which will massively help your assessment because you can show you're competent at different skills. Now the last thing you'll need to make sure that you do is, especially within team sports or individual racket-based sports, for example, or swimming, athletics, those certain sports must contain a competitive element. So you must ideally show you're in a competitive situation, and that's especially important at A2 because that is the mainstay of what you're being assessed on. So if you're in an A2 student, please make sure the competitive element is in your video. If you're an AS student, come and check with us the criteria first in the P office, but 9 times out of 10 we don't need that competitive element, although we would like to still see you in that competitive element because it gives a good array of your skill. So where possible, add that in AS students. A2 students, you must put that in. So again, what Jack has done here with his video is he's done exactly the same. He's had a nice little title, told the examiner it's now a competitive situation. We know who he is because he's identified himself from the start of the video, and therefore he can now show the examiner his skill in a competitive situation. Okay, so against somebody else, etc., etc.